Today we are going to explore the horror story that the house that whispers. So let's start the story. In the quiet, in the quiet town of Black Hollow, there was a house no one spoke of. It stood on the edge of town, hidden behind overgrown trees and rusted iron gates. The house had been abandoned for nearly a century, but strange sounds were heard from within. Whispers, faint cries, the rustling of unseen footsteps. It was said that the last owner, the Harrow family, had vanished overnight in 1923. Plates were left on the dining tables, clothes wardrobe, and the doors were locked from the inside. The only trace of them was a diary found on the bed of their youngest daughter, Evelyn. It was filed with incoherent scribbles, but one sentence was written over and over again. The walls are watching. For years, no one dared to enter the house until a group of college students, Jamie, Eric, Lisa, and Daniel, decided to investigate. They were fascinated by the legend and eager to prove it was just a myth. Armed with flashlights and a camera, they broke the rusted lock and stepped inside. Dust covered every surface, and a thick, musty air filled the space. The house had not aged. Everything remained exactly as it was in 1923. A clock above the fireplace had stopped at 2:17 a.m. The place is a time capsule, Lisa whispered, running her fingers over an untouched book on a desk. As they explored, they began to hear things. A faint scratching in the walls, the sound of shuffling footsteps upstairs, whispers just beyond the edge of hearing. The walls are watching. Jamie, the skeptic, dismissed it as wine and old pipes. But then Daniel gasped, "Guys, look at this." He pointed to a mirror in the hallway. Their reflection were wrong. They moved slightly slower than they did, lagging behind like a delayed video, and in the reflection there was a fifth figure standing behind them, a pale girl in a tattered nightgown, her eyes hollow and dark. Lisa screamed and turned, but there was no one there. When they looked back at the mirror, the girl was closer. They ran. Racing through the corridors, they reached the front door, but it was locked. Eric fumbled with the handle as the whispers grew louder, now turning into desperate, wailing voices. The wallpaper around them began to peel, revealing something underneath, not plaster, not brick, faces. Hundreds of them pressed into the walls, their mouths moving in silent scream. Jamie grabbed a chair and smashed a window. The glass shattered, but there was only darkness beyond it. No street lights, no trees, just endless void. Lisa turned to Daniel, but he was gone. His flashlight lay on the ground, rolling in a slow circle. Then the whispers spoke in unison, a voice that came from the walls themselves, one by one. Jamie and Lisa grabbed Eric and ran deeper into the house, trying to find another exit, but the layout had changed. Doors, doors led to the same rooms, hallways stretched impossibly long, staircases twisted in the direction that defied logic. Then they saw Daniel, or what was left of him. He stood at the end of the hallway, his eyes empty, his face sunken, his lips parted. But it wasn't his voice that came out. The walls are watching. Lisa sobbed, backing away, but hands shoot out from the wallpaper and grabbed her, pulling her in. She screamed as her body was swallowed by the wall, her face imprinting into it, her mouth frozen in an eternal cry. Jamie and Eric ran, breathless and panicked. They found themselves back in the living room. The clock still read 2:17 a.m. We have to destroy it, Eric yelled. He grabbed a lantern from the mantel and smashed it on the floor, setting the rug on fire. Flames spread quickly, consuming the furniture, the walls, the faces. The whispers turned to screams. The house convulsed, the walls buckling, the ceiling cracking as fire and darkness closed in. Jamie and Eric found a door, an ordinary wooden door, standing in the middle of the room. They didn't question it, they ran through. They tumbled on the grass outside. The house behind them was engulfed in flames, but no smoke rose, no embers escaped. It burned in complete silence. Then, as suddenly as it started, the fire vanished. The house stood as it always had, untouched, unchanged, as if nothing had happened. Jamie and Eric never spoke of that night. They moved away far from Black Hollow and never returned. But sometimes, in the dead of night, Jamie would wake up, heart pounding, and whispers brushing against her ear. The walls are watching. And in the darkness of her bedroom, the wallpaper seemed to shift, waiting. Have you subscribed the channel?